the whole concept is about baby boomers and giving back. So let me tell you some statistics on the baby boomer community. I think this community in the United States is about 75 million people, and they account for 80% of the wealth of this country. So it's a pretty sizable and influential population, right? And we spend over half the consumer spend in this country as well. But we do have problems. We're known to spend 77% of the money spent on prescription drugs, and maybe even other drugs as well, I don't know. But we spend a lot of money on drugs, okay, because we're getting older and getting to that stage where we need that help, right? At the same time, there's a positive thing to it. This generation, I'm excluded from this, is supposed to inherit $8 trillion from our relatives, our parents, and others, okay? It must be most of you in this room who are getting that money. There's $8 trillion coming our way, I guess, so we'll wait for that, right? So I want to address the concept initially of retirement. When my wife Chris and I, when we got married, 20-some years ago, we were told to go to a financial planner and plan for retirement. So we went to this guy, he had a computer, he asked two important questions. When do you want to retire? And how much money do you want to have at the end of the day, right? I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this exercise, and I was very naive, and we were quite innocent at that time, I guess, and I said, I want to retire at age 40. And at the same time, he asked for money amount, I don't even know what I gave him, but he plugged this into his computer and he printed out a big report of 50 pages or so, and basically what to distill it down, it was, you have to save gazillion dollars every year, because I was 35 at that time, okay? So that was my initiation into the concept of retirement. And that's when I started thinking, there's no concept of retirement. You just got to be independent and be able to make a positive impact on society. And I was lucky enough at age 40, I set the goal of 40, but I was able to do that at 41, to be able to kind of create my own path in terms of what I do, how I do that, but the clear, real reason behind it was, how do you make a positive impact on society? So right from the beginning, as you've seen from the exaggerated resume that Anjali read out, that I'm supposed to organize a lot of events, but that's really my passion. And so when I organized my first event, it was an event in Pebble Beach for 200 of the top leaders in the technology industry. We decided to make that event 100% charity focused. So the entire surplus of that conference went to charity. And we did that for 10 years, and we were able to give away over $1 million. And a little later tonight, you'll meet one of the recipients of some of the monies we got at this conference. So I'll tell you more about it a little bit later. So as a baby boomer generation, how do we give back? You don't have to be retired to give back. You don't have to be working to give back. You have to give back all the time. And really what you need to do is, there are many, many, many ways to give back. The easiest way is to write a check, right? That's the easiest way and quickest way to do something. But I think the more gratifying way is to give back. And what better way to give back to the community? All of us are here today, right? You can volunteer at the library, you can volunteer at your kid's school or your grandkid's school, you can coach a team, you can give to senior citizens. There's so many senior homes in our neighborhood. The whole old concept of retirement typically that I heard when I immigrated to this country was, you retired at 60 or 62, now it keeps moving, right? 65, 70, whatever age, you quit and then you went off to a golf paradise, right? Palm Springs, Florida, and you played golf. But that's not the way to do it. I think there are many seniors who are here in our community, and we don't need to leave our community and go to some distant place where we don't have any friends. Right? So stay in your community and give back to your own community. They're seniors, they're kids, you can mentor young children. One of the recipients you'll find later today is in the whole concept of mentorship, and hopefully tonight some of you will volunteer for that organization as well. So I think the thing is that there's so many things in your community you can give your time to, and I can guarantee you it's more gratifying than writing a check. For example, even here in Fremont, there were automotive workers laid off a few years ago, right, at the NUMMI plant. You know, one of the things that all of us can do here is to retrain people like that and others into the IT industry. Because our industry, where I come from, the software and technology industry, we need a lot more people, but we can't get enough people, right? So we can retrain people even our own, community to do that. So I think there are a lot of ways you can give back. I'm not going to go on and on. I have a couple of more points here written down on my iPhone. I didn't bring a sheet like some of the other guys did. So let me tell you this. So one of the things we need to discuss at our dinner tables tonight is the concept of a giving back life plan. So what are the ways you're giving back today? What are the ways you can be doing that tomorrow, right? So I would like that to be our dinner table conversation tonight. And get started before it's too late. You know, one of my friends, Ramesh Wadhwani, is on the Forbes list of richest people. One of the regrets he had is he started too late. He said, I should have started way early giving back. So all of us need to do it now and not wait for tomorrow. And this can be institutionalized as well. If you're running a company, for example, my friend Mark Benioff, who runs Salesforce, has a 1-1-1 philosophy, right? 1% of the company's equity, 1% of the company's profits, and 1% of the employee's time goes towards giving back. So these things can be institutionalized in our organizations. If we are running a company as a founder, it can be institutionalized into your own life to give back. So there are many, many ways we can do this. And finally, I think the good news is that 1/3 of baby boomers, at least in the surveys, say that they're going to give their money to charities as opposed to their kids, right? So maybe this is a trend of the generation. Our generation is the wealthiest generation. We can give back. And we're at a crossroads. Our generation can either leave the world a better place than we came into this, or we can leave the world a worse place. And I think I vote for the first one. We want to leave the world a better place. So discuss the concept of giving at dinner time. Discuss a giving back life plan that you can not just discuss tonight, but go tomorrow and actually put that down and make that happen. And let's give back to our communities. Let's do more of this as opposed to less of it. Let's leave the world a better place. Thank you.